What happens when three buffoons give life advice, explore unrealistic situations, and give random topics more thought than they probably deserve? It's the Spitballers Podcast with Andy, Mike, and Jason.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat, boom, bing, 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 did, boop, boop.
Boop, boop.
This scat brought to you by the Atari 2600.
The boop, boop.
Oh, man. There are... I don't know what to say about that scat other than
I don't think you need to, man.
Yeah, it came from nothingness, you know, and there's something original about nothingness. Like it has to, when we do the scat, it has to come out. Like you have to say something.
Yeah, I mean, look, when a great artist sits down at a blank canvas, it comes from nowhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And just like that work of art,
those great artists,
that scat just stands on its own.
Yeah,
right.
You just take it in.
The gallery of scats. If you ever visited it, it's a.
Can someone hook that up in the metaverse, just like the Spitballers Hall of Scats, and you can walk up to them and
there's a lot of them. All right,
how many?
About 202.
Okay.
Actually, we didn't start the scat.
No, I think it started around like 30 or something like that.
Al Borland in the house.
What's up, Spitwads?
Episode 202. Is that right? My goodness.
My
goodness. Would you rather? That's a great question. And a draft today that is, what are we doing? Things we missed from our childhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just looking back.
A little bit of nostalgia.
Yes.
Because the doc says favorite pies. So I wasn't sure if we were drafting.
You really? Mine says the right thing.
Things we miss from our childhood. We'll do pies soon enough. We just did a chocolate-related draft. And ironically, chocolate pie would be on that draft as well. So we need to space the food drafts out.
I was curious about that. We did the chocolate draft, and no one took a chocolate pie. And then I was thinking, do people really eat chocolate pies?
Listen, chocolate pudding pie, which is
that so? It's just a pie crust, and then they put chocolate pudding in there.
That's not a pie.
You are. This is my point.
Let's get
pudding
into
in a pie crust.
The chocolate pudding pie with. You have not frosting. You have whipped cream on top of it.
Oh, all right, now it's a pie.
If you eat,
so that wait. The whipped cream turns it into a pie?
Well, yeah, because before it was just a pudding bowl. I mean, you gotta have both sides of a crust, right? Like a pie crust on bottom and then a topper.
Okay.
For it to be a pie. Otherwise, it's just pudding in a bowl.
I believe Andy was saying that there is.
I see what you're saying. Although technically a pudding gets that film on top.
Oh, it's so gross.
So that could count as the other side of the.
It's so nasty.
But anyways, the chocolate pudding pie is unbelievably good.
Now that's different than a chocolate silk pie, right?
They're
Why would you eat silk?
They're a little bit more similar.
Not actually made of fabric, Mike.
A chocolate silk pie is more rich, but some of the silk pies that you order from like a Village Inn can be puddingy.
Man, this is a world I've never been.
All right, but you're right. None of us drafted them, so we are going to get started.
Would you rather?
I watched Al Borland changing the show doc live as I was reading the favorite pie thing too.
Interesting.
Twitter question: would you rather trust someone and regret it, or not trust someone and regret it?
Okay.
Someone explain this to me.
So we are living in regret either way. So like basically you're saying, hey, Bob, pick me up from the airport. And then Bob does not show up. Or you feel like Bob's not going to pick you up, so you don't even bother to ask them. And then later on, it's this whole ordeal of, I'm your friend. Why would you didn't ask me? I thought you trusted me.
Now on a simpler
simpler
example,
than the airport.
Yes, think about this. Someone says, you know, you're standing in front of a roulette table,
okay,
and they say, put 20 on 11. And you say, no, I don't trust you. You put it somewhere else, and then you regret it because it hits 11.
But then,
hold on.
So the simpler thing is to go to this game of chance that is like.
No, I get it, because you're saying then if you do trust them and it doesn't hit 11, then you regret trusting them.
Exactly.
But
right.
You can't trust someone on an intuition of pure luck.
Listen, I had an answer
I've got
pretty quick.
real life possibilities here.
The answer is to not trust someone and regret it.
Of course it is.
Because that leaves you in a world of what if, or if you don't trust them and you regret it, maybe they were trustworthy. I feel like that's a world of optimism more than the one where you trust them and you regret it, and then you're just sad.
Well, you also have someone else's feelings to take into account here. When you don't trust someone, it's not just you living in your own bubble. That other person might know.
Yes.
They did not trust me.
Yes.
So now you've hurt someone's feelings, you've let someone down, and then it was all for naught.
Because you were wrong.
Because you regret it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like Al's saying, advice, right? If you get advice from a friend, would you rather get advice that's not trustworthy and then regret it?
Man, advice is so tricky because the person's like, well,
I think I regret this question.
here's what I would do if I were in your shoes. Like, but you're not in my shoes. So you are you're just a bystander who has absolutely no skin in this decision.
Okay. Let's
trust no one, children.
No, let's detour for a second. Help me understand humanity. Why? Because
that's what we're here for.
You've come to the right place.
Because I notice this with everybody, and I don't think that many people don't live in this world. But why do we like giving advice so much? And that can go from the simplest thing, like if you know somebody that's an electrician,
right,
or is a dentist, or is a great whatever. Why do you want to tell everybody so much? And why do you want to give advice to people so much? And I'm not saying Mike, I'm saying human beings.
Yeah, I'm not an electrician.
Why do we like being the source of information so much?
We like receiving glory.
Yes.
I mean, this is it's ugly to say out loud, but we all know the truth.
Yeah.
We all want that affirmation.
I want to be recognized for my skills.
But don't we just want to help people?
Not at all.
No, we do not.
This isn't about you getting a good electrician. This is about you thanking me for what a great electrician. I did such a great job on your electricity work because of my reference.
And now thank me with hundreds of dollars.
That's the reward you're looking for?
Every time you refer a dentist, you want like a big kickback?
You guys don't have that big affiliate program?
Actually, you
I'm
know what?
shilling my dentist.
Hold on a
corner.
second, because this is a great opportunity to tell the famous Mike story of when you think you're giving somebody something, but you're actually in it for yourself.
Oh, are we going to the New York beds?
We're going to the New York hotel.
Fantastic. Please tell this story.
Which essentially, in the early days of the podcast, Fantasy Footballers, we were on a very tight budget.
Yes.
And, the idea of us having separate rooms at a hotel was not going to happen. We were going to just find a way to make it work, and that could be different room configurations, but the three of us, one hotel room, couple of queens.
No.
They were
couple of twins.
These were not
fulls.
twins.
They were queens.
They were fulls. This is a New York City budget hotel room.
I think they were queens.
I 100% promise they were not queens because I have no problem
sharing a queen.
You can share a queen. There's definitely enough room. These were two fulls.
Neither here nor there.
Well, it's an important detail because to have two grown men on a full,
you could do it.
Of course you can, but that's not. Look, that's tight. That's real tight.
The reason I say it's unimportant is because the truth is somebody was going to have to make a choice.
Yes,
and to either share a full or someone was going to sleep on the floor on a pallet.
Right.
And
that's fair.
My friend Mike, who many of you know, he was just he's like, I don't mind. I'm going to sleep. And so he slept in between the two fulls. And Jason and I had the luxury of being on the beds.
Yeah, right away. He said, "I'll just take the floor." It was
really quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was just like boom, bam. I'll take the floor. I was like, okay.
And what were you thinking at the moment?
Honest to goodness, in that moment, genuinely, I was thinking, I can share a bed. I'll be willing. But Mike was like, "I'll take the floor." So it was like, okie dokie.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then what else happened?
Well, then as time went on,
the situation arose again.
Yeah, the situation arose again.
It did.
What was the specifics of that situation, Mike? You're the one.
We
with
were
the
we
memory.
were in Dallas. We went to a hotel. There was I don't remember the complete bed situation. If it was like
it was two queens.
Was it two queens?
It was.
Okay, so there was two queen beds, and I said, "Oh, well, there's the two queen beds." I slept on the floor in New York, so I'm taking my own bed.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
very similar to that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he came in and said, "Well, I get my own."
Yeah.
Because without us asking you to do anything in the last time, you laid on the floor of your own volition, and then completely claimed it the next time around. That
as though it was a down payment on the eventual solo bet.
Yeah, I think it's hard to word this in a poll.
It's getting a little bit. It's getting a little hazy in the old memory banks now after 7 years.
No, it's fantastic because we've told this story so many times.
No, he didn't give us.
And every single time, you two are like completely aligned. But every person you tell the story to goes, well, of course he got the single bed. He slept on the floor multiple nights in New York.
The problem wasn't that you would have gotten a single bed. I think left to our own devices, we would have gone to a healthy decision to be fair about it.
Yes.
The problem had nothing to do with the end result. Is that fair? The problem had to do with how quickly you had apparently made a transaction with us
that we did not agree
that
to.
we had not negotiated with our lawyers.
Right. No lawyers had yet been involved.
You've heard this story, Al, right?
Just recently, yeah.
Recently, like not just now.
No, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I was told this.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and don't ask him
where do you stand on this story, Al?
I sided with Mike on this.
I'm not surprised.
No, we got one more fella in here. We got Brooksy. Brooksy, where would you have landed in this discussion?
Yeah, I would have sided with Mike on that
It's
one.
nuanced.
There is no nuance.
There is nuance.
There is nuance here because the point wasn't that Mike was going to get. We would have given Mike a
We
bed.
totally would have given Mike a bed. That is not the question. Is not did Mike deserve a bed by himself?
Exactly.
The question was, is he allowed to universally dictate that when he was the only one making the choice the first time around?
Thank you.
So you made both choices for all three of us.
Yeah. King.
Boom. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to move on. Sydney from Patreon. We'll bring this up again in 1 year. Put it in the calendar. What is the best?
No, we got to go back because, like, in one of these instances, I'm sleeping on a hardwood floor on a blanket, and the other one, you two shared a queen bed.
Did we?
Yes.
Did we share?
So. Yes.
That might have been the worst night of sleep of my life.
Right. Okay, so for a queen bed, and this guy's over here, well, you should have just shared the full with me. Get out of here. Nonsense.
We'll fight this till the end of days.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It made the first choice completely selfish. That's how we felt.
Oh, sure. Yeah, in hindsight, we didn't realize that it was
selfless. That it was a transaction.
Right. It wasn't a selfless move. It was a
You did it so you could cash in.
And I slept on the floor.
But did you do it to cash in later?
At the time, no. At the time, it was somebody has to make this, and I'm the selfish one sleeping on the floor. How dare I?
Thank you. Now we're getting to the.
I apologize.
Thank you.
I apologize. I made that decision.
I think now everyone can see Mike was the selfish one.
He admitted it. Mitch from Twitter, would you rather never be able to wear shorts again or always have to keep your house 5 degrees warmer than your current average?
5 degrees?
Oh, my word. This is not a question that's appropriate for me.
What do you keep your house at?
Lately?
In the summer.
I just keep going down a degree. Like every 6 months or so, I'm like, I can go a little colder.
How cold do you actually, I shouldn't ask that because I've been to your house during one of your cold spells.
Yeah.
And I've had to change it. I mean, secretly.
So cold.
So cold that we keep our house real cold. We keep it so cold when my parents come over, my mom brings a jacket. Like, it's that cold.
Wow.
But Jason's house is what I think the South Pole must be like.
I'm rocking a 71 degrees on that thermostat.
Okay, so you have not.
71?
Yeah.
That's not in the 60s. I thought you were talking 68.
71's still.
You're 68 for
cold.
Parties, aren't you?
Oh, I'll turn it down to whatever it can go down at a party.
A party is a different circumstance. So what do you keep your house at in the summer, Andy?
74, 75?
Yeah, mine's at 74.
Yeah.
After we got the solar, I was like, I'm taking advantage of this, baby.
I don't know
down.
if our audience really understands. When
74 feels like 95.
Not only that, but when you cool your house to 74 in Arizona, that's about a $10,000 a month bill. Okay, this thing is running nonstop. I mean, every degree here is so much money. This is like
they actually make you swipe the card when you move the degree down.
Yeah, you got to get a line of credit. They've got your social before you can get down past 75. So it's one of those things where the rest of the country, maybe you're like heating it to 70.
Yeah, it's a totally different paradigm.
Yeah.
In fact, it's funny because we're so AC is how AC pool. That's all you do in the summertime. When my wife moved out here, she was colder in Arizona than she was back in Pennsylvania because of how cold every restaurant and room and everything was with the AC.
So now, in this situation, I would have to move the temperature to a completely unlivable 76 degrees.
You set yourself up well for this one.
I mean, but genuinely,
but you have to wear pants outside during the summer.
No. Or if he moves it up 5 degrees, he's fine. He can wear shorts.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The other choice is like,
I wish I didn't have to wear shorts.
You wish you could wear pants.
If I could wear,
you like pants.
If I could wear sweatpants every day of my life, I'm
Why haven't we figured out the technology to like?
No, I mean, well, number one, they're called sweatpants.
Fair.
Not made for the heat.
No, but why can't you wear like a pair of pants that's much more like netting?
Those are
like
called
fishnets.
Not that much like netting. Somewhere in between.
It's really a statement piece. If you walk out the streets of Arizona with fishnets.
No, but like Jinko style fishnets, like a real loose.
But it's thin. I've
like a fish net that you wear
made out of denim.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't have pants that can be
air conditioned.
I'm gonna wear the pants.
Ooh. That's the key here. We need air conditioned pants.
Okay.
I am in on that.
Where do you put the compressor?
You gotta have you gotta have a backpack.
Yeah.
If
I can't survive in 5 degrees hotter. I really can't.
Hold on.
In my house.
Would you commit to wearing a backpack
if you had air-conditioned clothes?
But you had air-conditioned pants.
No, because then we could technically have that now. Just wear a spacesuit everywhere. Those are temperature controlled.
That's too heavy.
Wait, spacesuits are temperature controlled? Like, no, I'm not saying that. Yes, I know that they're temperature controlled in the sense that you can go out in space and you're not freezing.
Right.
But they're not regulated to like, I've got it at exactly 74 degrees. They're going to be hot as your body inside.
No, they regulate.
It's just insulated.
They regulate that. There's at least fans going on in there.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to look this up.
No, I can almost. I'd make a strong bet on that one.
Like you don't want to be chilly or sweaty in there.
Chilled water.
I'll find me
we already got it. Go ahead and read it out.
We got it already?
He's fast.
It says chilled water flows through the tubes near the spacewalker's skin to regulate body temperature and to remove extra heat during the spacewalk, which typically lasts multiple hours. Vents in the garment draw sweat away from the astronaut's body and help with circulation inside the spacesuit.
That's incredible.
Okay, it's like liquid cooling in a computer.
Can you buy them?
So NASA.
Welcome to Arizona.
Yeah, just get a street clothesline going. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I think I could do that. I think I could walk down the street in an astronaut.
How many people are in space at one time? Like a dozen?
Probably less.
I mean, let's focus. We got 8 billion people here.
We never even been to space.
We need air. we need air-conditioned pants.
Why? It seems like we really cooled it on the going to space stuff.
Well, there is a how many people are in space right now.com.
Okay. What's the answer?
Do tell.
I'm guessing 6.
Okay. Mike, what's your guess?
I will go. I'm going to go 9.
It is 10.
Oh, yes.
10?
What are their names and where are they?
Caleb Barron, Matthias Maurer, Thomas Mashburn. It says who they are and what country they're
Are they
from.
all on the space
I'm guessing
station?
they're in one spot, yeah.
Are they hanging out?
I don't know.
That's it.
All it is names and total. That's all I have.
Okay.
That's just where we are. We're like, oh, that domain name can't possibly be lying. I will take that.
Yeah, you're right. That's
like
where
I could go throw how many people in space right now.com and I just throw up a number.
WasMikeSelfish.com. Go there.
Yes.com.
It's the old school trick where like you click on the button and it just keeps moving around.
That's right. Okay, I'm going with the
there was a question.
I think I can never wear shorts again because of the fact in Arizona you're really not trying to be outside on purpose during a time you need to wear shorts. Yeah. You're not doing it on purpose.
But this time
I just go. It's from my car to Target and back. I mean,
I hate wearing pants. I hate it so much. Like a pair of jeans.
Even fishnets?
It's been a while. I hate it, but I absolutely have to take this. I can't be unhappy for the majority of all of my life, which would be indoors in too hot.
You guys ever worn velvet?
No.
I can't say as I have.
I mean, maybe.
Are we missing out on something there?
Is it
not
cool?
in Arizona?
Not. It's pretty warm, right?
Yeah, you just mix
what about
that with
silk? You ever worn a silk pant?
Yes.
I've worn
those
a
are heavy
silk
too,
shirt.
though, right?
No. Very light.
Really?
Silk boxers?
Very
oh,
smooth.
yeah, baby.
Okay, see, the silk boxers are a problem.
I'm out of the silk boxers.
They're way too smooth.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're great.
Like they can't stay on.
Right. And
Well, there is elastic in the band. They
plus, you try to get into bed, you slide right off.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
Swoop.
What were we talking about?
Air conditioning.
Okay, we'll move on. Mike, are you choosing the shorts one, or what are you doing? You're happy wearing pants.
Yeah, but 5 degrees. That's 5 degrees is 5 degrees too many.
That's what I mean.
And here's a problem. Once you adapt to the lower temperature, because I used to be a 78 degree in the summer person.
Yeah, there's an adaptation for sure.
And it slowly started ticking down. And
all right, let's poll
no
the producers here.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't go back up.
Like 74 was always great, but then I was like a little warm, and then I was like,
you got a little
once
taste.
I went to 73, I was like, oh, this is so much better. And then
Jay, the first degree's it's free.
Yeah.
The first degree is free. What's funny is that's true, but what I don't understand is before you had the taste, right? You're in a 78-degree house. You're not sweating everywhere. Then you have the taste. Then you're in like a 76-degree house. You're sweating all over the place. So your body's adapting.
The problem that I've had is if you
it is like a drug.
If you do this timeline, like if it was just a graphed out on a chart,
my tolerance.
There's also
my heat tolerance.
There's also a body weight issue that keeps rising over time. So I think that plays part.
It's like a BMI chart. It crosses over like
we got to graph this out.
They should tell you at the doctor what temperature you should live in.
Yeah, well,
you're good for 79 there.
You're almost 3 bills, so you're going to need to crank that thing down to 70.
We got a 68-degreer.
All right,
Deucers. They turn your room down at the doctor's office. Deucers, what's your temperature at your house on average?
77.
Okay.
Oh, you monster.
Yeah, I'm 77 or 78.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now do you
stay there as long as you can.
I remember those days.
Do not experiment with the lower temperatures.
Push that down button.
Now I'm guessing. Now, are you both very happy with your lives?
Yep.
Yes.
So is this I went to 77 because I'm happy, or I went to 77 because I know if I go lower, it's going to cost me money?
That's where I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable enough between money, heat, balance. That's what you're finding.
Yeah, I'd go cooler if
you could afford it.
If I could afford it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna need a raise.
Got to get that solar, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I was waiting for him. I've got it.
I just moved. My old house had it. My new one does not yet.
Okay, Earth hater.
Hickory Pete from Patreon.
Oh, thank you for your support.
Would you rather only be able to eat the foods you can steal or the foods you can grow?
Ooh. Oh, man. Well, I can't grow a steak.
What's the most stealable food? Like, on an average day, I think I could get out with – you could get free fruit, right?
It seems like it. I feel like you could just, like, even be
how much fruit can you eat in the store?
You can eat – that's what I was going to say. You could just eat it right there.
Yeah. You just stand there.
I'm just checking it out.
Just grab a bag of grapes, walk around, snacking on them, and you change. Then you make the face like, I don't actually need anything here. And you go.
No,
you do that.
No, you
the
fill
register.
it in the cart. No, you put it all in the cart, and then you leave the cart in the middle of the store.
That's a good move. I was just saying when you do the move at the register, where you're like, I'm not going to get this.
Yeah, can you put these away
as you're chewing?
Just put the empty
it's all
bag.
Stems.
Yeah, just I don't want this anymore.
We're all just talking about grapes. All you're going to do is eat grapes at the grocery store.
Well, grapes are very good.
An apple. That's enough. Anybody been bold enough to chomp on an apple in the middle of the store?
I'm sure there's someone that's done that. But why would you steal fruit when you can grow fruit? You know, in this question.
Okay.
I'll grow some crap fruit. There's no way I'm growing good fruit.
You could grow. I mean, obviously, it would take a long time if you're talking about like an apple and you got to have a tree. But like, we grow great oranges in Arizona, and you could grow them just fine. Like everybody, there's so many people out here that have
then you
citrus
get
trees.
You get reverse scurvy.
I got a question, Jay.
Okay.
How do we grow seedless oranges?
Oh man.
Because I don't know. This is not a trap question.
No, I was thinking about this.
They make Seedless?
So here's yes,
well,
but
at least the clementines.
here's
the
what blew
babies?
my mind, and this is last night, so this is fresh.
John Hammond.
Fresh. I open my refrigerator up.
Okay.
I look in the fruit drawer, and I see
Refrigerator set at 71 as well.
I see a bag of seedless lemons, which
Never heard of that.
okay, I never heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing. Seedless watermelons,
Seems
but
a little unnecessary. But
no, it does not. And once
No, I
I found
can
out,
see this.
once I found out that there are seedless lemons, I am so angry at every restaurant in the world for using seeded lemons
for
in
your
my
water. For your water.
because I hate drinking seeds.
Yes.
Call me crazy.
It's one of your big things.
It is. But I did have that same thought process with you, Mike. How do they grow
do this?
the next one?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I can make the first one. But my knowledge of science says I need that seed to make the next one.
That's where those seed banks come in, right? Those big, robust, secret.
Well, like the one in like the Arctic or whatever that has
where they
a
have
seed for everything. Just
yeah,
in
you
case.
you gotta get the seed, the OG.
So essentially what's happening is they are making, and by they I mean the scientists,
Right.
they are making infertile plants.
Okay.
And they just keep making more that cannot reproduce.
Told you it was like John Hammond.
So
This is Jurassic Park all over again,
but you can do that,
but with
from-
oranges.
You can do that from the seeded.
Yeah,
You just
I mean,
go in there and
eventually-
do some DNA splicing.
Here's one of the problems. This I don't know where you source this. Do you have a good source on this one, Al?
It's from gardenguides.com.
Well, that's not a
Oh,
good source.
good enough.
In the
Good
United
enough.
States, oranges are considered to be seedless if they have from 0 to 6 seeds.
Well, that's dumb.
Okay.
Now from 0, yeah.
That's according to Purdue University's horticulture and landscape.
Okay, now we're talking the big boys. Purdue,
What are these standards here? 6?
0 to 6.
I feel like if there's seeds
How many
in
wedges are in an average orange? 8?
it, if
Seedless.
yeah. I mean, if there's seeds in it, it should be
It's a
illegal
seeded
to
orange.
call it
It could be,
seedless.
it should be called lightly seeded.
Yes.
Lightly
Yeah.
seeded.
Less seeds, now with fewer seeds.
Yeah.
I mean, seedless oranges can't have seeds, or you're a liar.
What if they aren't growing them and there's just a big factory where they're pulling them out?
Oh,
And then they like stitch it back together?
Yeah. There's people doing it.
orange surgeries happening all around us, and we just didn't know? That's crazy.
Seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, but it's a fine art.
Removing the seeds?
Yeah. You got to have steady hands.
Now, this was a question
I don't
about
know. Was it?
stealing food.
Would you rather only be able to eat the foods you can steal or foods that you can grow? And I know you're more of a garden guy. Well, you run that website, garden. What was it?
Garden Guides.
.net.
Yeah. Gardensonly.com. No, the reality here is I can no longer eat meat if I can only eat what I grow.
Okay.
Because as much as I love eating meat, I could be a carnivore. I couldn't do the raise and kill
Now,
my food. I just couldn't.
You can't handle it?
No, I'm a big baby.
Yeah, I'm
could never do that.
I'm with Jason on this. But do they – because the question specifically says grow. You are not growing animals. You are raising animals.
Yeah, you're not growing them.
Okay.
They don't have seeds. They're seedless.
They do grow though.
Seedless beef.
0 to 6 seeds. I think I could steal food if I was a traveler. Because you could probably live your entire life from one restaurant to the next.
That's where I was going. Absolutely.
Right?
I'm never stealing from a grocery store.
Oh.
I'm dining and dashing.
And
baby.
I'm doing the same line at every restaurant for my entire life. I left something in the car. I'll be right back.
Oh, it's your wallet.
Yeah,
What?
I left my
gotta
wallet
get
in
my
the car.
wallet. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be right back. My wallet's in the car.
And then you just – has anyone ever said that line and then just started running? Like if your intention is to steal the food in the first place, like you don't have to say a word. You can just get up when the waiter is gone and sneak out. But to be like, oh, I need to get my wallet.
I left my wallet in the car.
So
just pushing people out the way.
There's always a waiter holding a tray at that point.
660.
I'll be right back.
I just gotta grab it.
And it just keeps escalating out the window. I forgot it at home.
You roll down the window from your car.
I'll be right back.
It wasn't in here. Peel out.
I mean,
we got to make a YouTube video of this.
Nobody's pursuing these people, right? A dine and dash?
No, everyone in the restaurant's going, okay, just go, man. It was a burger. You're fine.
660,000 restaurants in the United States. So you'd be fine. I'm stealing my food. But don't steal things, kids.
Stealing my food? What was the
Robin.
name?
Robin my food.
I'm laughing at you guys. You guys are going.
I'm gone, man. I really enjoyed that.
You're crying. Turn it down to 71.
Yeah, we're going to need to crank that air down. It is hot in here.
All right, we're going to move on.
Imagine having one extra day every week, more time to cook, healthy meals, work on that novel, binge some television. Well, now it's all possible with ClickUp, the productivity platform that'll save you one day a week on work, guaranteed. ClickUp began with the premise that productivity was broken. There were too many tools to keep track of, too many things, and entirely separate ecosystems. There had to be a more productive way to get through the daily hustle. ClickUp is the one tool to house all your tasks, projects, docs, goals, spreadsheets, and more. ClickUp is built for teams from 1 to 1,000 plus. It's packed with features and customization options that no other productivity tool has, so you can work the way that you work best. Whether you're in project management, engineering, sales, marketing, or HR, ClickUp has easy-to-use solutions that create a more efficient work environment. Join the more than 800,000 highly productive teams using ClickUp today. Use code BALLERS to get 15% off ClickUp's massive unlimited plan for a year, meaning you can start reclaiming your time for under $5 a month. Sign up today at clickup.com. Use code BALLERS. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
That's a great question.
I am sweating.
I am so hot.
Yeah, I'm warm. Luke from the website. At what point do you decide it's officially time to throw away a pair of underwear?
Okay.
That's an easy question.
Okay.
It might be different for each of us.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're getting honest.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. I am often.
You're so sweaty.
Whew, that's a good one. So I know exactly when I throw my underwear away, and
Is it?
it's
Oh.
I wear underwear just around the house oftentimes.
Okay.
Just and I'll.
What about in public,
This is
too?
important to it.
No,
okay.
yeah, I'm saying when I'm just in underwear or
Okay.
whatever. If I sit down and it's cold, if it's too cold when I sit, I know that the time has come to put those in the garbage.
So it's a hole.
It is a well-placed hole.
But it's a hole only discovered by the
Yes.
temperature of your couch.
That is correct.
You don't get alerted?
It's like you should see that putting them on, but I don't always catch it.
Now, the question about the placement of the hole then, because you could feel the hole in the undies on the side of the leg.
Right.
Let's outside thigh. If
That's
you got
fine. You could keep that.
Okay, you're
You
rolling
can keep that
through?
hole?
If it doesn't freeze you sitting on a cold piece of furniture,
Okay.
you can keep it.
I can't really think of a situation where I'm throwing underwear out.
I mean, it's not for
Really?
cleanliness. It's not. There's,
Oh, no.
No.
You can wash and use underwear a cajillion times.
I mean, unless it's fundamentally structurally damaged, it's going to be worn forever.
Now, there is.
Oh, wait, there's one other way.
Yeah, and that's shrinking.
Yeah, well, the opposite, which is you growing. Like if I outgrow,
they're really one
if
and the
I
same.
outgrow, that's never happened.
It's never happened to me. I have shrunk so many clothes. My dryer is just outrageous.
It's criminal.
It's criminal. It keeps just taking all my clothes and shrinking them down. So over the years, it's gotten rid of like entire wardrobes of shrinking clothes so bad.
I've definitely pulled the underwear on in the past and been like, Dad's struggling.
I can't breathe.
That doesn't. You know, you talk about wearing underwear around the house. Like, there's a line. Like at some point, if you're just bulging over areas, you gotta get bigger underwear, not lose weight.
You should not bulge over your underwear.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah, mine's just if there's a hole in the crotchal region, I'll get rid of it.
Or if there's poop in them.
Or yeah, that too.
I would agree. I would agree
that makes
with that.
3 of us.
Yep. Not washing a turd in my washing machine. That's for sure.
It'll shrink it. All right, we're going to Sydney from Patreon. What is the best way to figure out someone's name when you forget it?
Oh, bonjour.
Is that
You said we were going to Sydney. That's in Australia.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
A joke from another show. Jackknifed into this one.
Okay.
Best way to figure out someone's name is the one that comes to my mind is trying to get them introduced to somebody else.
So I like that.
I'll if I can't remember, I'll be quickly trying to find someone from my party that doesn't know them, and then trying to introduce them, and I'll listen.
See, I try to find someone from my party that does know them, and then I ask them.
Okay.
That's my go-to.
You've asked me many times.
I have asked you so many times. I've asked other people about you a few times.
That's
what
troubling.
if you're in a one-on-one situation, though?
Okay, just us. We
Yes.
can't introduce them to anybody. We cannot ask someone what is their name, what's the best way about going. And now we have to presume this isn't the first or second time you've met. Because at that point, you could break the ice and be like, oh, I'm so sorry or whatever. This is someone that you have to know their name. And you can't remember their name.
Sidebar. At what point would it
I
ever...
left my wallet in the car.
At what point does it become offensive as a parent if people you know well don't remember your children's names? Do you ever care about that or mix them up? Because I have a real issue at a lot of times to just I don't know my friends' kids' names. If they're over 2, I'm out on learning all the names probably.
And I don't think you ever need to be.
So if someone that you knew really well came up to you, like if I came over to your house and I couldn't remember your kids' names,
oh yeah,
just one of them.
Yeah, it would probably just be one because I'd know them, but I wouldn't know which one's which.
Just you'd be like, oh yeah, their names are so and so. I don't that wouldn't bother me because I'm with you. That I like other people's kids. I'm not with them all the time.
What'd you call that one when they were born?
It wouldn't bother me at all. Which I don't know what that says. Like I think I would be upset if someone didn't know my name, but someone doesn't know their name. I'm like, whatever. Don't worry about them.
Because honestly, it's the problem with the forgetting someone's name is it's more on you. Like I don't think I've ever been asked, I'm so sorry, I can't remember what your name is, and been like, excuse me,
nobody can change.
Good sir, my name is Mike. How dare you forget my name?
Yeah, I get that. I would never be egregiously upset, but it would change the relationship in my mind. If it was somebody that I thought cared about me, and they don't know my name.
Better you know now.
Perhaps.
That being said, there's been times, I can speak for all 3 of us, where we have, as a group, met people who have met us many times. And, and when over and over for 5 years.
Okay, that's fair.
They act like this is the first time we've met. Oh man, that can irk you.
But but that's also, I think part of it is
disrespect.
It feels like they think this is our first interaction ever. It's not a shoot, I forgot your name.
I've got one for you, Mike, that you might not like.
Hit me.
You you decide you're going to go to a therapist.
Okay.
On a regular basis.
Okay.
You spend an hour with them, and every time you come in to visit the therapist, they're like, "What's your name again?"
Okay.
Wouldn't that be a problem?
Yes, because I am paying that money. Or I'm paying that person so much money to know who I am
To remember your name.
and know the intimate details of my life. So
Check
yeah,
your chart.
I'm sure they remember the deets. It's just the name that they don't remember.
I just
at
can't
all.
place the face right now.
Right. You've got a problem or something, right?
You're the pyromaniac.
You got an issue, right?
Oh no, you're not. No, that's another guy. Okay, yeah. The podcaster, is that? Oh yeah, okay.
What if that's the whole reason doctors have charts? There's no information on them at all. It's just the name in huge
and
font.
a photo.
Yeah,
And a photo.
it's a mugshot style.
Ah.
That's Frank.
Getting back to the kids' names for a second.
Okay.
I know I'm the worst speller here, but sometimes names people spell names of kids different ways.
Sure.
This is where I get in trouble, is like I'll be going to text someone about their kid,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they spell their kid's name. And so then I'm trying to figure out how do I this happens with you, like if I'm texting you or your wife, you know,
with my daughter?
Alyssa, I don't know.
Because it can be spelled if you
It
want.
can be spelled, and so, but I feel like that's rude. I feel like if I misspell the name of a kid, then that is, you know,
Sure.
disrespectful. And so then I try to find ways to talk about your child without naming them, and I feel
What's funny is I've actually met people that get really offended if you were to get that wrong.
that's
That's what shocks me, is that people could be so upset about something like a misspelling of something like that.
Yeah. That to me, that's on them. Look, names are very important. I totally get that, but it's like a simple flub, like misspelling someone's name. Like, just correct and move on.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not that big of a deal.
Chris from Twitter, is there a phrase you would like to see come into common vernacular when someone farts aloud? Because when people sneeze, it's very common. People will say, bless you, God bless you. It's polite.
Right.
Is there a certain phrase or word, maybe it's just one word, that you think could come into the common vernacular and it would be polite?
What if it was you fart and you say a haiku?
A haiku?
Yeah. What if you just, then it feels poetic. Every time I fart.
But how many syllables did you fart?
Well,
right.
A haiku.
I don't know if I'm in on haiku.
I don't remember 'em. What if it was just a scoring system?
Oh, you just graded?
And you graded
6.
someone's fart from a 1 to a 10.
No, because you don't bless yourself.
No.
You don't sneeze and say, oh, bless me.
Although that'd be funny.
I think I should start working that in. But does that mean that if I fart, if someone doesn't say bless you, it's kind of rude. Or when I sneeze, so if I fart and someone doesn't score it,
right?
Is that rude of them?
No, not because not everyone's in on the bless you.
I've got 2. I want you to vote on these.
Okay.
1, it's a phrase. Heavens to Betsy.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Okay.
So you let one fly.
It's
and
got
someone else has to say heavens to Betsy.
It's got to be a good one though.
A good fart?
Yeah, because if it's just like a,
that's
you
not
can't
a
heavens to Betsy.
The other one is whoopsie daisy.
Oh yeah. I mean, like a whoopsie daisy, whoopsie doozles.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of like a yippee.
Okay.
Like every time, because how much greater would that make the normalization of little toots? Every time someone toots, yippee! That's fun. That's like I want you to fart more now.
What about that's on you?
That's too much
a little
negativity.
rude.
Too much negative.
Too negative. Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah. See that you got.
That
too
came
sassy.
from your butthole.
Because the problem is it's kind of on the nose, both literally and
Right.
metaphorically.
Yeah, of course.
Is that it was on them.
Right. You want to make them feel better. How do you make someone feel better that publicly farts?
We all do it. if that's
I did it yesterday.
Hit him with like a juicy.
Oh, like a real.
Yeah.
That's a little too.
Too sensual.
Too sensual.
Yeah, and again, if it's just
the juice is loose.
Yeah. See. You got to celebrate.
Brooks, what do you say when your significant other farts? How do you make her feel better?
It doesn't happen.
Oh, she's not.
Yeah.
I forgot women. Women don't fart.
Yeah, girls don't fart or poop. That's my understanding. That's my understanding.
And they glow. They don't sweat.
They glow. They don't sweat. They never poop.
Look, I'm sorry you're a woman, but you're not allowed to have bodily functions.
That's correct. That's correct. That's what we've learned over time. Any other questions we need to get in here, Al?
Let's draft.
The Spitballers Draft.
Well, today we are going to take a journey back in time and drafting things we miss from our childhood. So, some nostalgia, going to be fun. We're old enough to muse about our childhoods, which I don't know. What's the official age where you're allowed to say back in the day? Is it 20?
I mean, like if you're 20, you're saying in back in the day, like that, under 10.
Yeah, that's half a life ago. I think that's fair. If you're 20, you could say back in the day.
At what point then can you say back in the day and reference your teens?
I think it's double. I think you got to be
30s.
double.
No,
you could say I'm in 30s.
We're under. I mean, some of us are under 40, and I still say back in the day.
Yeah, but I feel like you've done that since you were 12.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so I have to have the first pick. I don't think that there is a drop dead 101 here of things you miss from your childhood. Maybe I'm wrong. But
well, I mean, I'm not you, so.
Well, yeah, but you might have a consensus thought. I'm going to go with long summers.
Oh, summer break is on my list.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I mean, Jason and I were just talking about this today. Our kids just for us, our kids just started their summer break. They're back in school in like 3 weeks. So we blinked and their summer break's over. But as a kid, they felt like they were eternal.
Yeah, it's going to last forever. I will never have to go back to school, which I eventually do. But yeah, those 3 months where when you were the kid and you just had no responsibilities, like, what are you going to do tomorrow? Ride my bike to my friend's house, and then we will ride bikes at the same time.
Long summers and being let out of school for summer was so amazing.
Yes, fantastic. It on my list, very high up on my list. But my number one pick, we did it. It made it to me. It was mentioned before we were talking about the draft. It is Blockbuster Video because like there's a few things here which unfortunately it sounds I get it. It sounds old man and soapboxy of me, but. First, the exciting part was you go to and children out there, Blockbuster was a place where this is where you had to go if you wanted to rent a new movie or a new video game. And so you would just the excitement of the drive to the store, knowing where you are going. So like getting that dopamine shot of I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick out from this place that's just has everything you want. And so like a new movie, I can actually play a new video game because when you're a kid, there was no Game Pass. There wasn't this I get everything instantly. It's I have to go to Blockbuster Video and rent the game. And then it may not even be there. Some other kid.
Which means the next time there's even more anticipation.
But it's like that. This is where it's soapboxy of me.
Go for it. Because I'm with you.
Just that small thing of like having to have the patience and learn. Like I can't actually get this right now. I think that there was some importance to that where I can look back and as a kid being so angry and bummed out that my game wasn't there, but now I'm like, man, having everything at your fingertips right now, I don't know that it's necessarily a good thing for humanity where we are headed.
No, because you don't, and like you said, this is broader than just being a kid. Like you miss it because it was around when we were kids. But even as an adult, like there are those things where, what is it? The anticipation makes the result better. Like, is it easier to just rent something on Apple TV? Yes, it's much easier, and I'm not certain that if you force me to never be able to do that, that's the best choice. But the idea of going, like I loved walking for movies, and then finding something new through the walking around experience, and then when you bring it home, guess what? You got to make a special time to watch it because you got to watch it and bring it back, like. There was something about that.
You
that
have 48 hours.
Yeah. Or you pay
Not me.
Or you pay $40 a day or whatever Blockbuster did.
Not you?
I didn't go to the college I wanted because of late fees. I turned my videos in late every time, and then that would keep you from going back.
Did you also not rewind them?
Oh, I never rewound a video. Get out of here.
No, I love that pick, and I do wonder about that.
Oh, it was the best.
Now, I just checked. The world's last Blockbuster is still
and there's a documentary on it.
It's a good documentary.
It is. It's fun.
Especially if you're old, like us.
All right. I am on the clock.
Man.
So I'm going to go with two that are they kind of piggyback off of each of yours. So Andy took the summer break.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking school.
Okay.
I actually think that, like,
sure.
I don't love the math class, but there was
big man on campus over here.
Yeah, look, I had a lot of fun at school, but you know, you have that place where you see all your friends. You have your lunch period. You know, there's so much going on in like your own little world. It felt
so big.
Yeah, it was everything.
It felt so big. It was your whole universe.
And then, you know, once you're done with school, it's gone forever. And you can't really replicate that. Like, there's nowhere, like, you go to work and you've got, you know, your interactions here or whatever you've got in life, but it's just never the same as what school was. And so while, you know, it's funny when you're in school, all you want is summer. But then by the end of summer, like, man, I miss my friends. I can't wait for school to start. I want to see my class. Who am I in class with? It was just exciting things.
Yeah, the fact that you were around so many people of your age, like, that's why it's so hard for grown-ups to like make friends. You're like, well, what? I'm not forced to interact with the same people over and over and over, and I can't just go to Target and be like, hey there, hey friend,
I'm meeting friends in Target today.
You come to Target a lot, or
you buying a TV? Yeah, me too. We should be friends.
Okay, that's a good one, Jason. One more pick for you.
So the second one that Mike did was, you know, something that's gone. Blockbuster videos, better in my old days. Well, I'm going to go there, too, because one of the things that I miss in a weird way is when there was no technology. And this sounds so crazy.
What?
So no handheld, like, portable technology, no smartphones, no computers. We are the three of us.
So do you want to say low tech or no tech, or what's your answer? What's your pick?
My pick that I wrote down was, like, no technology. There was a TV, I guess, is technology, but
like the Game Boy came out when we were very young.
But so less technology?
Yeah, sure. Low technology or whatever you want to word this as. But I was talking about this with my son, who was recently grounded from electronics.
Oh, how long, by the way?
Like 3 days.
Okay.
And it was crazy because he was asking me for recommendations of what can I do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, you can read and you could draw and.
That's the best because it's the same for
It's
us.
the same answers, right?
We're like, okay, kids,
puzzles.
Let's take it. We're gonna take a break from the screen. What should we do? Read? You're like, well, why don't you go read?
Why would I do that? I got a phone. But this is what's crazy. I was talking to my son and I was like, here's what's truly insane. You go back the last 5,000 years,
right?
This is we're at the first generations ever in the history of humanity that have had electronics to entertain us, like ever. Before that, people were fine. People were absolutely fine. You could fill your time with whatever you dreamed of, and now there is nothing to do without electronics.
And I guess the first taste of it, now that I think about it, was cable television. Because when you had regular television, if what you wanted to watch wasn't on, it wasn't on.
Yeah, then you didn't have a TV.
Then it was cable and satellite. You know, some people had satellite where it was like, oh my gosh, you could watch things from other countries, and you'd always have something on, this on-demand idea. But I like that pick.
It's just one of those things that we'll never get back, and we are one of the. We're a very small slice. There's literally a few
lived half of it,
a few years of humanity where we grew up on both sides. I had a computer in high school, but in grade school and beyond, there were no computers or cell phones or any of that. So we had both as youth, and we're like the only sliver that will ever experience that.
Yeah, that's it. Soapboxes. We'll leave them alone. But school and low tech lifestyle. Okay. I like it, Mike. You're back. Blockbuster Video, and
I'm going with. It's funny because now this is something that comes up often on this show as a scourge of all humanity. But back when you were young and when it was yours, a birthday party.
Oh, I've got it on my list, man.
Why? Because everyone who comes to that birthday party, number one, they're my friend. We're gonna have it just an
number two,
we're gonna have an incredible time. But number two, every single one of my friends is bringing me presents, baby. And not just like. The world has now shifted to gift cards and money, which there's nothing wrong with given
impersonal,
given a cash
It's because
gift.
nobody cares about non-electronics anymore, Mike. There's no toys people want.
But every toy, every present you got, the box was gigantic because it's some action figure in just an absolute oversized box that does not need to be that big, but visually impressive.
Yeah.
And when you would see that table and you'd sit down after, you know, just you're at you hit up some good times in the ball pit, and now you just scarf down
Pizza.
5 slices of pizza.
And
You look at that
I
table
know.
of presents, you're like,
I know.
oh, they're all for me.
I love this pick because this is something I hate. I hate
Yes.
going to kids' birthday parties. I hate it,
Yeah.
and they're so frequent. But we do it because the kids love it.
Yes.
Like that is so fun for kids to have birthday parties.
All right, my next pick, it's back to me,
Yep, you're up for 2.
is obviously smoking. I'm just
Smoking
kidding.
indoors at restaurants. I miss when they said, "Would you like smoking or non-smoking?"
Isn't that funny, man? These times,
And then
that,
you sit across the.
yeah.
I'll take the section that smells less like smoke.
Yeah, I just want a little cancer. No, not smoking. So I took summer breaks with my first pick. I'll take no responsibility.
Yeah.
I'll take no.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like the things that. It's funny because we're adults and we all have kids, and the things that your kids get stressed out on. I was joking today. My son gets stressed out about not posting a YouTube short by a deadline he set in his own head.
Oh man.
So he decided, you know, that's the level of responsibility you have as a kid. He's like, I gotta stay up later tonight. I gotta get this posted. And I'm like,
Dude, you don't gotta.
why? Who's telling you to do this? But no,
The algo, Andy.
Yeah,
the
the
algo.
I will. The kids know more about algorithms today than we did. But no responsibility. I mean, you had your half hour of schoolwork. You rode your bike to your friend's house. It was just.
It is the actual 101. Like the actual 101 of being a kid is absolutely the fact that you don't have responsibilities, that you're not needing to make dinner or pay bills or have a job, or there's just that is the best part of being a kid.
And then my next pick, I'm going to go with something to encapsulate another thing lost by our on-demand, everything delivered by Amazon society. The same way that Blockbuster Video was fun for the anticipation, there was that for going and buying things or going to the store and seeing things, which we've lost in part because of the loss of malls, really.
Oh yeah.
So malls is my pick. The heyday of my childhood was when malls were everything.
Yep.
It was an event to go to them. You just roam with your friends or hang out there all day long. Bunches of stores.
Yeah,
Mall life.
What's insane is we didn't have cell phones. Like you could just get dropped off at the mall, pick you up at 4.
Yeah.
Now, if
Meet
I
me at the
can't-
fountain.
if I can't get a hold of my kid who's in the mall with me somewhere else for 2 minutes because he's not answering his phone, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am 100% guilty of that phobia of anyone in my family. If I call and they don't answer, okay, who this person has been smuggled out of the
for
country,
sure.
and now
Next call's 911.
I got to drop what I'm doing, and now
Where's
I'm,
Liam Neeson?
Now I'm a detective, and I have to go find this person.
It is funny because we went on a cross-country trip, and you're thinking about no cell phones. I was like, I'm dependent on this GPS.
Oh man.
And I was reminding my wife, I was like, and they still have a few of them on the side of the freeway.
What, a map?
No, they'd have those call
Oh,
center.
yeah.
Or not a call center, a call box.
Yes.
Where, like, if you broke down, you had to walk in one direction until you got to a call box. And the fact that everybody has cell phones now has just changed that. But, yeah, I'm going to go with malls, and it's back to Mr. Mike.
It is back to me. I have 2 that I really want,
Yeah, this is a tough one.
and I'm not sure where Jason is going to go.
I have 2 that I really want.
Oh, and he gets 2 picks,
Okay.
too, Mike, so don't screw it up.
Well, dang it. All right, I'm going to go with this one. It's called Eating Whatever I Want
Yeah.
to and Suffering
Yeah.
No Consequences.
Yep.
And I'm talking the rum tum tummy. You're not like, whoa, God. If I eat this tonight, what's on my schedule tomorrow? Because I have to know that there's going to be bathroom accessibility. Or you're like, well, if I eat this tonight, that's 450 extra calories. What do I got to do to work this off when I go to the gym? You're like, no, I eat half a pizza and then
wash it down.
And I would wash it down with like jumbo orange soda, and then I can go run a marathon, and I am perfectly fine.
That's such a good pick. It was on my list as well. What's funny is I have one son that doesn't eat a lot, so we're always trying to encourage him to eat.
He is wasting
his glory day.
Yes, he is.
But my wife literally told me, she goes, you know what? I guess nobody grows up and then ends up not eating as much as they need to.
Oh, yeah. No, health-wise, he is fine.
It's like once you grow up, it's not like he's going to have that problem.
But he's wasting the metabolism of the youth.
I know. He could go Haagen-Dazs morning, lunch, and dinner, and it wouldn't matter.
Have some candy.
All right. That's a good pick, Jason. You said you had two you wanted. Was that one of them?
No, that was – I mean, of course, that's one of the things I miss and want. But I still do eat what I want, and that's a big.
It's
that's
really
a big,
the no consequences part.
The no
that
consequences is the issue. No, first thing, I'm taking Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh baby!
I loved getting up on. That's
such a good pick. I didn't even have it on my list.
It's a
so
weekend.
Good.
I'm gonna pop on the X-Men and
I
mean, they were just Saturday morning cartoons were
Ninja
a thing
Turtles
because like Andy was talking about, you didn't have.
Oh god!
Everything on demand. It was whatever's on TV then, and the wonderful people at these networks decided Saturday morning is for the kids, is for cartoons. Now, as a grown up, I understand why, because it's like, hey, we can sleep in. They can just pop on some cartoons.
They did some good work.
They did some great work, and that was great because the parents would sleep. You could just watch infinity cartoons. So that was wonderful. And then the last
cartoons were invented by the International Association of Parenting.
Yes. The last one I'm taking, this is no way, shape, or form as cool or as big or as wonderful as everything else we've talked about and a bunch of other stuff on my list. But it is a very specific thing that was so amazing and so cool that will never happen again. It still can, but it just doesn't because of technology. It's getting letters in the mail.
Wow.
You dork.
Apparently, Mike did not ever experience this. You never had a.
Of course,
did you have a pen pal?
I had many pen pals.
Punched him in the face. Oh my god!
So you experience this, and you don't.
I get, yes.
I mean, the nostalgia of
good.
day after day after day.
I want that sound clip so bad.
You open the
on
mail
my board. I want to be able to hit that.
Dork. You open the mailbox hoping you received the next letter, and it's not there, and then day after day you go, and then because it's 3, 4, 7 days in a row,
you got to send the search party because they're gone.
When you open it and that red envelope that's clearly from a person with handwritten label,
Randall on the front,
and it's like Randy. And you take it out and you're like, oh my gosh, it was just such an experience that it took. It's funny because like now you just send an email and you can get a message back. You can send a text. You'll have information back in a second. But it was fun. I remember one summer I had a girlfriend that went to, I mean, it wasn't like real. It was like, kid girlfriend. And she went to California for the summer and we wrote each other. And so getting these letters.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah,
my heart just couldn't wait, and it was, it'll just never happen again. Writing, handwritten, and they were all handwritten. The whole letter. You're not.
Are they in cursive?
Heck no. Cursive is for the dogs.
You love school, but you hated cursive.
I hated the school part of school.
I hated cursive. It's the worst.
Final pick. Wait.
I'm up.
Yeah, you're up.
All right. Andy, I thought you were going to take it when you went malls. But because there was a very specific part of the mall this was the best place you go, and you go to the arcade.
Oh, that's such a good pick.
And for me in my youth,
but unfortunately, it's in the mall.
No. the best part of traveling to me, like, because I'm with you. I love malls. I was a mall kid. There wasn't one in my backyard. That's where I spent all my time. But when you would travel, and you'd go to the mall, and it was, we got to find the arcade. Because everyone had different games. There was some of the big ones that you'd expect to be there, but there would be brand new arcade games, and they were so much better than anything that you could play at home. Like you'd wait forever for the Nintendo version of a game to come out, and it would just be crap because the arcade version was so much better. So, like, having the new
arcade life,
the arcade life, people and your friends are there. The games were just they would blow your mind, which you get that experience at home now, but you had to go somewhere to have it happen. And it's arcades. If we could bring that back, I'd be very happy.
And I'm not making this my pick because I don't even know if it fits as a pick, but to go along with that, Mike, having a scarcity of money as a kid for little things.
Sure.
And I don't mean like we all have scarcity of money even as adults, but if you want to go to the arcade right now and you want to play forever, you could do it.
Oh,
you could pull it off.
Yes.
But as a kid,
you had to dig through the couch.
yeah, or like even buying basketball cards. I'd be going to buy one pack, and it would take me time to save money for one pack. Now, if I'm an adult, I'll just go buy a box of cards, and it's like,
right.
It's not as exciting when the scarcity is there. Which
that's a good point.
But my final pick, which I think, you know, sappy, sad, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
one of the things that I miss from my childhood is essentially potential.
Ooh,
unlimited.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pretty sad how it's turned out.
I know. Unlimited potential.
Here with us. You did it. Congratulations.
As a kid, you could become anything. If you, in your mind,
Sure.
maybe that's not true, but in your mind, if you're 10 years old and you say, hey, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a teacher. As you grow older, there are expiration dates on some of those goals, right? Not a lot of 38-year-olds starting their doctor, you know, to become a doctor.
You can.
You can.
Not a basketball player, though.
But not a basketball player. And so I think as a kid, just the fact that the whole future seemed ahead of you is my final pick.
And now look at you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's all over. No potential.
I did have other picks. Never driving anywhere was one of them.
Oh, yeah, you got a chauffeur.
But that also I thought was kind of like double-edged because then you can't go places unless your parents are driving you.
I had the I don't know if you guys took participated in these, but like a neighborhood game where just all the kids would get together and you'd play like you'd play ditch 'em.
Yeah.
In your entire neighborhood.
Yeah, I did that on bikes, and it was super fun.
And it was like this full-scale thing that I can't
Good memories.
I can't
Good
imagine letting my children do that now. You're like, well, they're the age that I was definitely doing those things. That is terrifying.
First times, like lots of first times as a kid.
First times is a great pick. Summer water sports.
Yeah,
you know, playing
out here in Arizona.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
An athletic body. That's something I miss. That was great. And going
you
hand in
can
hand
get
with
it
that,
back, man.
Playing basketball. That was all
you
I
can
did.
still do that if you
that.
wanted to.
Not really.
Oh.
You're like you can't.
No, not really.
Oh.
I mean, I
Not
can shoot
really.
it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No,
They would call it basketball, but he wouldn't call
so
it basketball.
Fat.
Oh no!
No, you're a
Husky.
big body for rebounds now.
Yeah, that's right.
Box him out.
Oh,
You're
I
a
will.
rebound body. He's a rebounder. All right, that is it for the things we missed from our childhood draft. We'd love to hear from all of you on social media. You can find us at Spitballers Pod on Twitter if you want to share some of the things that maybe you miss, maybe things we didn't think about. And Instagram.com/SpitballersPod, SpitballersPod.com.
Oh, yeah.
What did we learn today?
What did we learn today?
A lot of good stuff.
I learned that Jason's a dork
Yeah.
because he liked letters. Like everybody.
Yeah.
It was funny. You'd lose a friend back when you were a kid. You really lost the friend.
Sure.
Nowadays, like if someone moves away, you can stay a lot more in contact with them. Back then, it was like I had one best friend in kindergarten, wrote me a couple letters. I wrote him a couple, trailed off, never heard from him again.
What's his name?
Austin.
I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
It meant Austin.
I don't know who sent the last letter, but his name was Austin.
But it wasn't me.
I learned that when you're turning down the thermostat, it's a slippery slope.
And I learned that you can have seeds and be a seedless fruit, which is nonsense.
0 to 6, and that is the same as 0, is what I learned today. Yeah. All right, that'll do it for the Spitballers. Thank you for joining us. Al, thank you for everything you do.
See you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Spitballers podcast. To see what other nonsense the guys are up to, check out SpitballersPod.com.